Alright everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Sword of the Stars with me, Get Daved. So in the last video, I thought the colony was screwed and I decided not to sim the combat and I'd actually fight it. I wasn't going to put it on camera because I thought it might go really badly, and then I thought maybe I'll just try that video again. But that would be cowardly, so we're giving it a try. So you can see the debris from a enemy ship I just shot down, and let's just try finding our next target. What they did is they sent a couple ships past me, and then the other they tried to get to engage me. I didn't bite, but unfortunately now we're right close to my planet, which means they can sort of slip by me. Ships are doing pretty well in tight though. All things considered, they're actually holding up quite well. Planet's launching missiles. That's because it wants to live. Alright, sensor view, you can't by default issue orders from it, but it is extremely handy nonetheless. Come on, turn around. Turn around! You can see my guys launching their missiles. Hopefully they get him before he does too much damage to the colony. Your ships will always try firing everything they can, so you can see even though their target is this guy, they fired their lasers, the little green dudes. Alright, now finish off that one. This is actually going not bad. I like to have missiles on my ships because they have extremely long range and they act as a pretty neat compass towards enemy ships. So for example, the planetary missile went past this guy, so we know there's someone else past him. Probably a command ship or a Ripple vessel. Combat's capped at 4 minutes, or capped at something.
System update.
So that round ended in a draw, and the colony took surprisingly little damage. So they have 3 ships left, I've got 11. Now who's laughing? And we are just going to save the game, because that's what I would have done off camera. Defend Ekip by... I like that my friend is called the Vagabond Princess. Alright, well, we had some good luck, so I guess we'll move that in. By the way, how was your first sample of tactical combat? It's pretty deep in this game. I'm just going to sim this, they don't stand a chance.
Update. Sometimes
in this game, the AI will really botch a simmed battle. Sometimes it just happens. So, if you like letdowns, use the sim feature a lot. Alright, they've got 12 infrastructure, so now they start really turning around. Once they get to about 20, the colony's very close to being self-sufficient. Oh, okay, we'll give you a proper introduction to combat. You're welcome. I did it for you! That's right, you can't spell YouTube without, Alright, just so you know, it takes longer to load when there's more ships involved. So, all your ships zoom in. There is a limit on the number of ships that you can have in battle at once. Oh, by the way, the pause button is pause on your keyboard. Not many games do that. Spacebar toggles you between sensor view and battle view, as does this button down here. Just use spacebar. And if you forget what buttons do what, just click on key bindings. Alright, good talk. So you issue commands on a two-dimensional plane, but they can go onto a third axis to avoid collisions, so they will often do that. There's also some generalized fleet commands that we'll probably get into now. Generally speaking, I prefer to keep them on normal mode because I want them going where I tell them, even though sometimes the AI is better at figuring crap out. Looks like their initial ideas about who to attack were very different than mine. Their ships, I mentioned that their ships kind of suck in strategic mode because they slow down and stuff as they get close to the target. In combat, they don't have inertia, which is actually really helpful, especially mass driver type weapons. We'll finish it off. I don't care where you hit it. Alright. Mass driver type weapons, they have momentum. You know, you get hit by a laser, it just cuts. You get hit by a mass driver, you've been hit with a slug with a tremendous amount of kinetic energy. So your ships actually can get batted around quite significantly. Lear, since they don't have inertia, it doesn't really matter. Human ships or something, though, you start knocking them, you know, getting them rotating, there's not much they can do. That was a spectacular explosion. Targeting is done. There's no two-hit rolls. They just aim as best they can, and if the bullet hits the target, then the ship's destroyed. If 2 segments, you just saw the middle segment blow up. If 2 out of 3 blow up, the ship is lost. I feel like there's a bit... I feel like there's something else going up, because you can sort of snap ships in half and stuff. I don't really know what helps decide that. Ooh! This planet is very close to being done development. So you can see they're generating income now. Not much, because it's a tiny, you know, crappy little thing, but it's a start, and that means I'm going to invest in a couple light defense platforms, because it's, for me, it's nice to have defenses that I can't accidentally move away. Friends look like they're having quite the encounter with the Zool. Always fun. Fun for everyone. Alright, next turn this planet's going to be... I guess fully developed might be slightly the wrong term. Done phase 1 of development. Phase 1 complete. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't mention. Research can go from 50% to 150%, so we are over budget, which sucks. You can also throw money into it, though that will sometimes lead to a research disaster. You know, with like researching a new type of laser, you know, not that much can go wrong, aside from like accidentally killing the entire science team, which sounds bad until you realize what can go on with like an AI related disaster. At which point colonies will actually rebel from you, and you know, this game can get so cheap sometimes. Yeah, they'll rebel, and oh, it's awful. It's actually awful.
Aye, Commander. We will have those ships out in no time.
That's one of those situations where I wouldn't frown on you for reloading the game. It's just like, too far, guys. Kerberos, you took it too far. Alright, they only sent a scout, which is kind of odd. I guess they wanted to know if I was still there.
Yep.
Alright, ultraviolet lasers. They're better, which is always nice. Point defense tracking is tempting. I'm going to research battle computers so I can finally have a command ship. Command ships are really important. We're not going to talk about why for right now, but they are. I guess I'll bring it up actually. I mentioned that combat is in combat you're limited on the number of ships that you can bring in. So destroyers are worth 2 points. Cruisers are worth 6 and are exactly 3 times the size, incidentally. And dreadnoughts are 3 times bigger than cruisers and are worth 18 points. By default, you can only have 12 points in combat. Having a command ship lets you bump it up to 20 or 30 or 40 or 20, 40, 60 maybe. Either way, you can have more ships. The size of your command ship, whether it's a dreadnought, cruiser, or destroyer, determines, you know, what you can actually bring in. So you can have a lot more ships in combat if you bring command ships, so that's nice. They kind of are expensive and not that powerful, since, you know, the mission section is completely cast aside. Incidentally, let's just take a look at explored systems. This is somewhat useful. You can keep track of all sorts of things in here. You just click on your budget to figure it out. Right now, what we want is to sort explored systems by cost. Really? One more time. Unfortunately, you can't filter out enemy systems. not bad, and my friends are about to scout it. Some of these look like death traps, but that's okay. They look like death panels. Incidentally, there's infrastructure on there, so I don't know. Usually that means somebody bombed it and they killed all the people, but they left the buildings. Who knows what happened there? Maybe it just started with it, because there was an alien derelict in that system, I think. I wonder who bombed everyone to death. Alright. I've had a colony ship just sitting here for a little while. Maybe we're at the time to use it. Really tiny planet. I think I may actually just try colonizing that one. It might be a bit too soon. That one's got 10 platforms, however. I don't know. I'll make that decision in a little bit. Right now, I'm also flirting with the idea of colonizing that one, even though it's intensely expensive right now. It's going to cost me millions. I don't know. My attitude is always, you might as well do it now, so that you get the payoff earlier. And you know, I'm not going to invest a tremendous amount into it, aside from the copious amounts of money I'm going to have to throw at the colony. But, you know, the human advantage is...
Sir,
ooh.
We have an incoming bogey.
You guys stay
Aye,
just
sir,
a little bit
standing
longer,
down.
just in case. And actually, I just made a huge mistake, because we have much better weapons, and there's no subjectivity to this. The ultraviolet laser is better in every way. So there you go. A bona fide mistake on my part. Armor
Yes,
Mark
sir.
IV.
Ship design ready for construction.
And you know what? Let's build a whole bunch of those too, because why not?
Aye, Commander. We will have those
Alright, we're
ships
going to leave
out in
everyone
no
there
time.
until the combat... Well, actually, you know what? Heh heh. I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
nothing will
Keep
go
on heading
wrong.
alpha.
And if there is an unknown menace waiting for it, Kiryu appears to be just
System
one of their
update.
scouts. I could have sent them back. That would have been sharp. That would have been savvy of me. Squadron CNC. Alright. Integrated sensors, I believe, will give us cruiser level. Oh, no. It's after that. Oh well. Integrated sensors are still pretty nice. They pool everybody's sensor data in your fleet. And if you don't have it, you'll notice. It's kind of unfortunate. The tech tree randomizes every time, which sounds like a good idea. Like Master of Orion 1 randomized your tech tree, and I think in a good way. The problem in this game is the tech tree is a lot more complicated. There's more, like Master of Orion 1, it's just a straight line in each of the subcategories. And here there's like connections stemming from C3 to industrial, and you know, there's alternate pathways. Sometimes you have a path leading directly from red lasers to ultraviolet lasers. Like, they have all these things. So the randomization in the tech tree, I believe, could be better. In general, I like this game, but I do believe, and I'll probably comment on this in my final video whenever that is, I do believe it's a game defined by its faults. Oh, you did not. How dare you, Ulani? How dare you?
System update.
The game's sort of defined by, they've got this
Shipyards
really big vision
gearing
and really a lot of really good ideas, I'd also like to point out, but you know, things like the interface is horribly limiting. Like, the idea that you always have to focus on something, like this is an era where people are used to using a lot of geospatial apps, like, you know, Google insert anything, but Google Maps, like, you can't just, you really should be able to pan and zoom. So, anyway, that's stage 1 of the rant. It's coming. Oh, it's coming.
System update.
In the meantime, though, I'm going to go back to being offended that they had the audacity to colonize there, and you know what? We'll read about it later. It's all going to happen later. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and next time maybe we'll go crazy and colonize one of these two. I'll see you then.